want to get line drive.
Want to lose weight and keep me for you.
In my financial situation.
What you got?
The only thought of ownership. I am Oliver is Mr. Negative, and I want to welcome you to the jungle. Tune in every Wednesday. Every Wednesday. I'm going to tell you as a 25-year-old black man that I'm supposed to be in the graveyard in prison somewhere.
Your time is limited, so don't waste it living someone else's life.
You have to do music. I'm gonna keep doing music, but what if people told me I couldn't rap? What would have happened? What if people told me I couldn't perform? You know, I'm only 36 years old. I have other goals and other things, and I'm gonna use my platform, every platform, to stand up and say, I wanna make something. I wanna make the next Ralph Lauren. And that was the point of the Zayn interview, that say people don't stand up and protect their dreams. People are too scared of getting, spoofed in a way. And the irony of it is so many people that are creatives, think about a creative person in school. When you picture them, you probably picture them all the way in the back of class, sketching or maybe getting beat up. And I'm the one creative, and this is the reason why I went on stage. This is the reason why I did this, because creatives have got beat up my entire life. And there's moments where I stood up to drug dealers in Chicago and said, you can't have my publishing, come and kill me. Do whatever you...
Find your dreams come true. And I wonder if you know what it means, what it means. Find your dreams.
Welcome back. This is episode 7 of W2J. I am Oliver is Mr. Negative. And as always, I only promise to speak the truth, regardless of how y'all feel. Because if I give y'all anything, that's my word, I'm gonna give y'all that real. And last week, I know I was a little at y'all, right? I was at y'all, but I felt it was crucial that I hammer home that point that you cannot base your foundation off of somebody else's success or achievements. It's very important that we grab our own imagery. And in this week, I'm so excited because I get to talk about one of my favorite creatives in history, Mr. Kanye West. So you might ask me, Oliver, okay, if I can't base my success off of somebody else's achievements, then what do I do? And it's very simple. You got to start with your imagination. Listen to me. Your imagination is literally the foundation. It has to be like the director for the movie you're starring in. It has to be your Spike Lee or your Scorsese, right? It's your Yellow Brick Road. So what I want you to do is I just want you to take a second, just take a moment, right? Pause the video. If you gotta close your eyes to get in your zone, do what you gotta do. But I want you to think back to that most innocent dream, that vision, that thought that you had, that thing that pulled at your heart and said, this is what I really want to do. And maybe your teacher or your mom or your cousin, they didn't even know it, but they stepped on your dream by telling you it wasn't possible. What is that thing? Just take a moment and search for that. I need you to rekindle that feeling of your innocence. Like, yo, this is what I want to do. You see, I study people, I study society, right? And what society is made to do is to box in your thinking. They literally want you to be normal. And your imagination allows you to escape that grasp. But what happens is we suppress our imagination. We suppress the dreams that we have because we're so used to watching television or hearing certain music, and it's propaganda that's telling you, you gotta be this way, you gotta do these things, which allows you to feel comfortable in your zone. We've already talked about comfort zone. Stepping outside of that and using your imagination is stepping outside of that comfort zone. I remember when I was in the 9th grade, I had an art teacher tell me, Oliver, you don't have the voice to move people. I mean, I'm not saying I'm laughing now, but I think I'm doing pretty well. That's all because I tapped into what my dreams were. And that's the ability to touch people. What is your deepest inner thought, that dream? Look, just for a second, I just want you to set aside your emotional connection to Kanye. However you feel about him, I just want you to set that aside for a quick minute and just focus on the story and see what you can grasp from the story. Because studying Kanye, it was so fascinating seeing how he was able to go from the south side of Chicago and turning himself into this megastar when so many people said it wasn't possible. All he had was his imagination, all he had was his dream, and he was determined to make it happen. So much so, he went from the south side of Chicago and moved to New York with no guarantees. His dream was to become a rapper. He knew producing was his way into the industry. He got with Rockefeller. He made 6 beats on Jay-Z's classic album, The Blueprint. From there, he thought he was gonna get a record deal. Nobody would sign him. Like, look, man, producers don't rap. We just want to hear you make beats. Like, producers literally don't rap. So what he did was, he would make beats for other artists, everybody from Beyonce to Britney Spears. And he would show up before the artist would get there and record. And then he would stay after the artist left and record. He was working so hard, he left the studio and crashed. He broke his jaw. And before he was healthy again, he recorded another song that was one of his biggest songs. He invited everybody down from Rockefeller, premiered his video, which he put $40,000 of his own money up to make this video. Invited all of the heads of the label down to show him, like, "Lo, you gotta put my album out." When they finally put his album out, he was nominated for 10 Grammys. He won 3 Grammys off his first album, including Best Rap Album of the Year. And everybody told him, like, "Yo, producers don't rap." So what is that thing that you're missing? What is that thing that was crushed or somebody told you can't do? Learn from his story, learn from his experiences that you gotta fight for your dream. Maybe you gotta move. Maybe you gotta say, "You know what, I ain't listening to you." What is that thing? That's what you build your foundation on. It's your imagination. And I'm telling you, there's a war out on your imagination.
If you ever wanted to ever be anything, there'd always be somebody that'll shoot down any dream. There'd always be haters, that's the way it is. Hating it, maybe hater and have hated.
Welcome to the jungle, well.